would love to have a relationship with my daughter, but the problem is husband.
Kiera is constantly lying and manipulating everything.
Have you asked her forgiveness for calling her the most vile name you could think of?
I'm not sorry I did it. Was God wrong to call them women in the Old Testament whores? What was his motive?
I'm not going to second guess God's motive, but you ain't God. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today is going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
Get ready to take care of you. Yesterday, our jaws were on the floor when we met James, the very outspoken husband of Karen and stepfather of Kiera. Now, Kiera wrote in saying she felt abandoned by her mother, Karen, when she was 15 years old, when her mom married James after knowing him only 3 months. Now, Karen ended up walking off the stage, leaving Kiera and James to hash it out. And they certainly worked at that. Here's what happened.
My relationship with my mom is non-existent because of her racist husband, James. This man called me a horrible racial slur, and now he's lying about it. When my mom and James told me that they were married and we were gonna move, I'm just like, Mom, if he decides to kick us out next week, we're gonna lose our home and everything. I grabbed my mom's money like, this is the only money you have. And then James punched me because he said I was trying to steal my mom's money.
You were punched in the stomach.
Yes.
Why?
He said I tried to steal her money, and then we start fighting.
Yeah, and was your mother around at that time?
Yeah, she was right there.
Did she say, hey, wait, whoa, don't be hitting my daughter?
No, she didn't say anything like that. But when my boyfriend started hitting her husband, it was, oh, get off my husband, get off James.
You wanna know who's the problem? My daughter.
Kiera has turned against me because I do stand up to her. She has said to Karen, he's white, what are you doing with him? You know what the white people did to the black people.
She calls me stupid, trash, you're not my mother.
Kiera needs to get her head out of
She just turned into a monster.
This will be the first time Kiera has seen her mother, Karen, in person in over a year. First time she's seen her stepfather, James, in 2.5 years. Karen, how does it feel to see your daughter?
This feels good.
She feels like you chose James over her time after time after time.
I told her that I was gonna get married.
When did you
I
tell me?
told you that I was getting married.
You didn't tell me you was getting married in the span of 3 months.
I have that right, and I'm 62 years old now. I have to wait to get married.
Do you understand how this could be very disturbing to a 15-year-old?
She's exaggerating and lying.
I wouldn't want to ask you.
It's like asking me, why are you such a jerk? How am I supposed to answer that? She had a boyfriend coming over and sleeping over there and running over Karen.
You told him that, Mom? Mom, look me in my face and tell me that. Tell me that's the truth, Mom. I knew this was going to happen. This is what you do. You control her life.
Now you're with the one that knows how to argue.
Oh, let's
not
go,
your mother
baby.
that
Let's go.
knows how
I'm
to
not
run.
scared of you. I'm not caring. Look me in my face and tell me you ain't call me no racial slur.
Did I ever call your sister or your brothers that?
You answer the question. Did you call me a racial slur or not?
Did you call her the N-word?
Is God wrong? If you believe God is perfect, therefore, it is not wrong of him to say something that is true, even if it's a name call. I wanted to hit her, but I got strict rules on myself. You don't pop a woman until she pops you. You don't. So I did what to me was the next best thing, call her the ugliest thing I could think of.
Every night I used to pray to find a Christian man, and I finally have one. I am going to stay with my husband no matter what until the day I die.
James, you strive to be a good Christian man.
I am.
I don't recall Jesus ever punching a woman, and I think that you make a mockery of it to say, I am a good Christian man and I'm going to punch her if she gets in my face. Because I have a different standard that I try to espouse, and that is that you never, ever put your hand on a woman in anger for any reason. I was really interested in because you were saying a lot of this in your pre-interview, which I said thank you for that. And as I said, I accepted Christ as my personal Savior when I was 13 years old, and I'm I can't say what you said. You said I am a good Christian man. That's something I aspire to, but I can't say that I am. So I got out my trusty Bible, which is harder and harder to read because the little print in my eyes are worse and worse every year.
Me too.
But I was looking at Colossians 3:13, and it says, "Bear with each other and forgive one another if any of you has a grievance against someone. Forgive as the Lord forgave you." And Ephesians 4:23 says, "Be completely humble and gentle. Be patient and bearing with one another in love. Make every effort to keep unity of spirit through bond and peace." I just am particularly interested in the be humble and gentle, because I don't read you as being either one in this situation.
I wasn't.
And I don't know you. I don't know you outside of this situation. How does that
If she's
square
running
with...
at you to jump on you, fence going, and been that way for quite a few minutes, you're telling me you to let her jump on you and beat the hell out of you. That's what you're saying to me.
But that's a lie.
Is that what I said? I
I'm
said I
saying
would
in the
run like
situation,
hell. I would duck. I
you're
would
judging
weave. I
what
would
I
do
did
anything.
in the situation.
I'm
I was
asking...
being run at, and she was going to jump on me. There were 4 of them and 1 of me.
Can I say something?
And I was an old man. I was 62 at the time.
Can I say something? Earlier, he said that the guy who held him back was a little guy. So you're so strong, you couldn't break out of it, though?
I let him pull me off.
James, you ain't making sense, bro. Come on.
You're going to let me answer your question,
Go ahead.
and I'll make sense.
You're right. I'm sorry. Let me stop
I
being
let
rude.
him pull me off because I thought between the girl, I forget her name, she was telling you, "Kara, this is over, this is over."
Yeah, she was.
I listened to
I
her.
remember that.
He's pulling me off, and I said to myself, "Good, this is over." So I leaned back on my butt and scooted my feet so I could scoot away from you.
On my son's heartbeat, I do not remember getting kicked in the chest or the log, like him picking up the log at me. Like, it could have happened, but I don't remember that.
It was a piece of rotted wood
you
that was
said
in the
that
pile.
you said you called her the racial slur because you intended it as a synonym for ignorant.
I intended it as a warning. You're pushing my buttons a little too much, and I'm getting to the end here. That's what well, you weren't there, were you? Why don't you live my life for me, and you come correct everything I do? And if I study your life, maybe I'll live your life for you.
Why are you acting so hostile, James? Why are you so mad? Like,
Did you
Christ
really?
was never hostile in his speech.
I'm not saying that, but you're not Christ.
I'm not saying I was, but I'm being
You be
compared.
acting like it.
I'm
You be
being
trying to act like
compared.
you God and you ain't.
See, you got a politically correct audience here. I'll get nowhere.
No, I'm saying, did you mean? Are you saying you meant it as ignorant, as a synonym for ignorant? You said that. I'm
I
just
was
wondering to know what you
trying to
meant.
show my anger was, my patience was wearing thin.
Answer the question.
That's what I was trying, without hitting her. She hadn't hit me yet. And I have a strict rule on that. You have your strict rule, I got my strict rule.
Yeah.
But in my strict rule, she hadn't hit me yet. She pushed, and all that other verbal. It's all right, this is still verbal. You're getting on my nerves, is what I was saying.
Okay, well, I feel
Live
it's
my life for
important
me,
to.
like I said.
I feel it's important to speak to Karen, and she's refusing to come back out while Kiara's here. So I'm going to excuse Kiara temporarily to go backstage, and because I want to talk to Karen. I hope she's been listening to all this and get her response, and then I'm going to ask you to come back out. Okay? We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Is there something in particular that she's lying about?
She grabbed my money. She did this.
I'm taking it, I'm taking it.
Yeah, he did hit her to get my money back.
Was that okay with you?
My daughter should respect me because I am the mother.
My mom needs to earn that respect in order for me to give it. I began to butt heads with my mom after my aunt died because she wasn't an authority figure in my life.
Kiara wanted the authority, but I was the mother.
I hate to say this because she still is my mother, but I feel like God should have took her instead because my aunt was the backbone of our family.
Well, Karen says at times she wishes she had never had Kiara because of how she treats her. Now, she left the stage because she felt Kiara was being mean to her husband, James. and she refused to return until Kiara was no longer seated here. So Karen and I asked Kiara to excuse us, because I do want to talk to you. I'm curious, you've got to feel a little bit like you're in the middle here. You've got your husband who you love and want to be with. You've got your daughter who I know you love. But they're at odds. What do you want to see happen here?
What I really want to see happen? I want her to change her ways towards me.
In what way?
Give me respect. Don't lie about things.
Is there something in particular that she's lying about?
When I came back to the house, she grabbed my money. She did this. She put her hands up with my money, you know.
I'm taking it.
Yeah, that's what she did. Followed me in the living room, and he did hit her, you know, to get my money back, because she wouldn't give it back to me.
He hit her to stop her from stealing, you mean?
Yeah.
Was that okay with you?
Not really.
You weren't okay with her stealing your money. Of course,
No,
she says
I
she
was-
wasn't, and you weren't okay with him hitting her.
I was shocked. You know,
At which?
What had happened? The fight. She started it. She made this fight. When she grabbed my money, she grabbed my money. And my husband defended me.
Are you okay with him hitting her?
She started it.
Okay. Well, that's what I wanted to know.
He did not start it. We came inside the kitchen because I was going to come back and get some more stuff, you know. And she started it. He did not start anything with her.
Have you been hit in relationships before?
Yeah.
Have you been hit in this relationship?
No.
They're prior relationships.
Yes.
I want to be clear about that. Just in fairness to you,
Yes.
I want to
Thank
be
you.
clear about that. So James has not hit you, but you've
No.
been hit in prior relationships. Did you feel like you deserved it at the time?
No.
Even at the time, you didn't think you deserved it?
No.
And you don't think you deserve it? Looking back now, you know damn well you didn't deserve it.
No.
What do you think they should have done instead of hit you?
They did anything.
They could have done anything different. Just don't hit you. They could leave. They could do whatever. But you think your daughter deserved to be hit?
She don't deserve to be hit. She don't. No one's deserved to be hit. She provoked him to hit her.
You said you draw a line. If a woman hits you, you're
Yes.
going to hit her
I
back.
get hit, she'll get popped back.
We need to add, if she steals money, you're going to hit her.
No.
You'd rather she not get hit, but you said she started it.
Yes, she started it.
And you said you hit.
Because she had her hands up, she had my money.
It's like so much of what she does, it's on purpose. She does something to make a scene and make you react. She pushes your buttons on purpose, which is a lot of the problems we've had with her. She's constantly lying and manipulating everything. Drives you nuts, makes Karen. She shuddered all the way driving from Ohio, knowing she was going to have to face this again.
And you said you draw a line. If a woman hits you, you're going to hit her back.
I get hit, she'll get popped back. That
Okay,
goes
so
for
if a woman
anyone.
hits you, you're going to hit her back. And then we need to add, if she steals money, you're going to hit her.
No, that was a different story. They told the story slightly off. See, partisan crowd, I don't
Well,
care.
no, I'm saying, she was saying that she was stealing her money.
Yeah, she was.
And you hit her.
We barely knew each other at the time. We were sitting in the kitchen. We had just met, all right? We had just met. Give me a break. We were sitting at the table. Kiara came walking through. She grabs, I'm taking this, and held it up high. Karen shrieks because she's on welfare, just barely gets enough to get by. You know how it is. So Karen goes chasing her into the living room. And I says, I'm not going to let her suffer this. So I came up behind her. I whispered in her ear. I says, we'll get it back. So they're wrestling around. Kiara's slightly taller than her mother, so she holds it up high. Karen can't quite reach it, and they're bucking around like this. I says, I got to get the money into range. So I put my arm around Kiara's neck and picked up my feet so we'd all get to the ground so I could reach the money. Once we were down on the ground, Then we could wrestle for the money. She kept fighting. I hit her.
That's when you punched her in the stomach?
Back. It was the back.
Okay.
Because she was facing the other way. It was the back.
Okay. Now, this was a child, right?
She was 15.
That you shouldn't be hit, and neither should a 15-year-old child, certainly by someone you're dating. And if that's where it's deteriorated to, then you have to take other measures, whether it's, to get professional help or have her removed from the home or whatever if she's attacking or being dangerous, putting your health and well-being in jeopardy. You can't be expected to live with that. Absolutely not. Kiara's threatened to lie to the police about you?
Yes. We'd show up when we're supposed to pick her up. She'd hide at her friend's house. She'd go there. You couldn't get her up there. We went to the police. The police says, what should we do? We're stuck. Throw her in the pickup truck and take her up there. Well, if you do that, you might get attacked from behind in the seat, and we all crash. So we had angst to do that. When she saw we were thinking about getting serious about doing that, she says, if you ever get me up there, I'm going to accuse you of rape and call the police and have you arrested. So that scared me good. It kind of waters down your will to go get her and bring her up there. No, I don't want her in the house. It's dangerous. It's kind of stupid to bring somebody into the house that lies so consistently and threatens you with putting you in court, and then you're one of these guys in here trying to prove you're innocent. No, thank you.
Yeah, so you really don't want her around at this point?
Not at this point in these circumstances.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, sometimes, most people don't understand much about prayer, which is why you got your audience chewing my ear. But when you pray, you really want to hear it or no? No, they don't. When you pray, though,
well, you're
sometimes...
not talking to them, you're talking to me. This is not an election. We're not going to have a vote.
Thank you. I'm glad it ain't, because I'd be recalled. Anyway, when you pray sometimes, you go so up in the spirit, you kind of lose yourself. And you don't really keep track of where you are or what you're praying. And I've found myself sometimes when I came down and looked back on it that I had prayed for Kiara during that prayer. That wasn't me, that was God. When God is within you, the righteousness that you do is from Him. If I had my druthers, if I could just dictate what was going to happen, she'd find Christ, be saved, and she wouldn't lie anymore. She'd be fine.
Yeah, there's a grandchild involved here. Do you miss your grandchild?
Yeah, I do.
Do you think Kiara should feel safe and welcome in your home given the circumstance with James at this point?
I don't know.
I'm sorry?
I don't know.
She could come there when I'm not there. I'm away 4 days a week.
Have you asked her forgiveness for calling her the most vile name you could think of?
Nope.
Don't plan to.
Has she asked forgiveness for jumping on my back?
She's not here. I'm asking you.
It's a two-way street.
What did you think about what I said about the power of forgiveness?
You're asking me. Mm-hmm. Couldn't agree more.
And what are you doing to facilitate that in this blended family?
I can't make it happen. She might accuse me of the rape, so it makes me loath to let her anywhere near me, because what am I going to do when I'm in prison on something I didn't do? Pray to God, and He'll say, you knew not to let her around, and I'd have to say, I did know. Yeah. I'm not going to let her around until I can feel like that basically for sure won't happen.
Have you asked her forgiveness for calling her the most vile name you could think of?
Nope.
Don't plan to.
Has she asked forgiveness for jumping on my back?
She's not here. I'm asking you.
I'm asking you, has she asked forgiveness for what she did? It's a two-way street. Should I always be asking forgiveness for something that I might do again? If she jumps on my back on the way out of here, I'd probably do something about it. I'm not sorry I did it. It was right to tell her that. Was God wrong to call them women in the Old Testament whores? What was His motive? God is love. God's always love. It wasn't to down them. That's what we do. His motive was to try to get them to see just how ugly they were doing, and then maybe they'd repent. That's more like His motives, which is also like my motive. You're acting so ugly, you're pushing my buttons, I said what I said. It wasn't the downer.
Well,
If that was a result, perhaps.
I'm not going to second guess God's motive, but you ain't God.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
And you're saying that you don't believe that you have anything to apologize for in hitting her or calling her the N-word.
If she did exactly what she did again, it might take me slightly longer now that I've been here, but it could happen again.
So that's a no.
An apology is, I'm sorry I did it, and I intend to amend my ways and not do it anymore. But I know me, that in that circumstance, I probably would. So for me to ask forgiveness would be disingenuous.
I got you. I appreciate your candor.
That's where I come from.
I appreciate your candor. That helps me help her. Okay? And you hear what he's saying.
Yeah.
I'd do it again.
Under the certain circumstances.
I'd hit your daughter again. I'd call her that name again.
That's under the right circumstances. If I am attacked,
Yeah. So
I wouldn't just do it just to do it.
Okay. No,
But
I
you
don't think
don't
you did it just to do it
understand.
before, but I think you also, come on, you're telling me you can't learn, you can't say, okay, I did that and I'm not proud of that. I can think of a new way to cope with this situation. I can turn the other cheek. There's a novel concept.
I have that. Well, in turning the other cheek, I've learned to get her away from me because she lies so hard on her mother, she weeps at home. She's willing to attack me. I have run away. I've pushed her out of my life as long as she is like she is because it's going to make conflict, and I don't just I don't take nothing off nobody. I won't. It's not required. You want to know the real measure of where you're at? I could tell you. I could share this. I'll give you one of the secrets of life. I really love this. That's it. Chuckle it up.
How do you define narcissism?
I don't know the word.
No, I'm sorry.
I do not understand that word.
You don't use that word. You don't know
I've
what it
heard
means?
of it, but I've never learned what it means. Enlighten me.
Well, it might be a good one to learn. Narcissism is someone that tends to be really ego-driven, see things only through their eyes, and lack the ability to have empathy for another person's point of view. It's a pattern of grandiosity where somebody has an inflated view of themselves, either in fantasy or behavior. They have a need for admiration and a lack of empathy. And there are a lot of traits that define it, but it's just the kind of tendency to think that it's sort of your way or the wrong way.
See, I don't agree with that, is me. I don't care what they think.
Well, you wouldn't.
No. They called Christ all kinds of names and ended up beating him within an inch of his life and crucifying him.
Yeah.
So just because people don't persecute you, he said they persecute me, so of course they're going to persecute you. So you can't judge yourself by how much other people persecute you because you're supposed to be persecuted. Yeah. So you can't use that as a measure as to where you're at.
Okay.
You want to know the real measure of where you're at? I could tell you. I could share this. I'll give you one of the secrets of life. I really love this. That's it. Chuckle it up. You're going to agree with this. You're going to agree with this. The more righteous you are, the happier you are. That's locked in. Yeah. So the way to judge on how you're doing yourself is to honestly evaluate, are you happy or not? It's not intellectually arrived at. Some churches sing, when I think of the goodness of Jesus.
You consider yourself happy?
Yes.
Because you sound very embittered and you have an edge to everything.
I sound like I will keep that trouble away. Okay. I only sound this way when she's there and I have to keep the trouble away.
Okay. Well, she's not here now.
That's the subject of the discussion, though.
It is. Would you agree that those two probably shouldn't spend a lot of time together?
I agree. You're right. Okay. They shouldn't.
Would you like to have a relationship with your daughter? Would you like to have a relationship with your grandson?
Yeah, I would love to have a relationship with my grandson and my daughter. But the problem is husband.
Well, but I think he's being kind enough to say, I don't object to her coming around my wife when I'm gone. I'm on the road 4 days a week, and they can have a relationship between them that's exclusive of me, and you don't object to that, right?
Chances are she's going to be in her face, leave him again.
So
So
you
there'd
do
be
object to it.
strings.
You do object to it.
I'm saying there's a good chance because she is so headstrong, she'll start with the same stuff. You should leave him, you should leave him, you should leave him. She's relentless.
And if she's going to be bad-mouthing you, then you don't want her around.
I would rather not risk it. It's kind of like a gray area. I'm not sure what to do.
Yeah, okay. All right, gotcha. Well, Kiera has been watching my conversation with her mother and James from backstage, and she's been very emotional as she really does want a relationship with her mother. I'm going to ask Kiera to rejoin me after the break, which means I'm going to excuse the two of you because you don't want to be in that situation right now. So we'll be right back, and I'll talk with Kiera. I think that the chance of you having a relationship with James that is in any way healthy or constructive is something around zero, because I think he feels justified in what he's done, and I have no doubt that at 15 you were probably hell on wheels. You're probably full time, and
I was.
I get that, and you were very honest with us about that when you described your life at 15. But I need to tell you that in no way, in theory or practice, justifies the way that you've been treated by this man that's in your mother's life. You can't make sense out of nonsense. And his justifications for what he has said and done, and the positions that he's taken, in my opinion, are just nonsense. Truly, you weren't treated in the proper way, and I'm very sorry for that.
Thank you.
You weren't treated fairly in that regard, and I'm going to tell you why. He's a very controlling individual, and I think your mother at that time probably did gravitate to him, not in spite of, but because of the fact that he was controlling. I think she was having some type of thought disorder at the time, was not mentally healthy, and going with him was kind of like checking into a structured environment, and it probably was like a moth to flame. She was drawn to that, and they brought out each other's worst characteristics. She had a need to be directed. He has a need to direct, and they came together in that way. Rather than her overcoming that and learning to be self-directed, she just leaned into that, and he leaned into it. And so that's how they've defined their relationship, and it's not likely to change.
Yeah, I'm aware.
And I'm sorry to tell you that. I asked him if you heard me ask him, do you feel like you owe her an apology? And he said, well, no, I'd have to be sorry I did it to apologize, and also have a commitment to not do it again. And I can't say either of those things. I'm not sorry I did it or that I won't do it again. So, I mean, that's the self-righteous, narcissistic approach. So you have to deal with that reality. And, you know, when you cut toxic people out of your life, it's kind of like somebody took out the trash for you. You know, it's like you don't have that negative in your life anymore. Now, the problem with that is he controls your mother. And so then that means if you cut him out, you're cutting her out. And I am going to offer to get her some individual help, not with him, not couples therapy, but her some individual help to try to find her sinner and get her some power. Enough power to say, I'm going to have a relationship with my child, and I'm going to do that, and you need to support that, and if you can't, we got a problem, but I want her to be strong enough to assert her own will and say, I want to have a relationship with my daughter and with my grandson. You're a good mother.
Thank you.
And
I'll try.
you're a good mother. We ask a lot of questions, and you're a good mother. And your child thinks you get up 30 minutes before him every day and let the sun out. and you need to take care of his mother because you're the only one he'll ever have. And I'm going to arrange for you to have some help with that as well, because I think there's some things that you need to unburden yourself with that go beyond this conversation, and I want to make that available to you. Okay, and I'm going to do that we're in a pandemic right now, so I'll do it with Doctor on Demand. I have a lot of confidence in this company. My son and I started this many years ago, and really, really solid. I'll set that up for you right away, but it's just for you. It's not for you and your mother. It's for you, because I want you to be at peace with you. You deserve nothing less. Be sure to follow me on social media platforms. And don't forget to join my Facebook page, Dr. Phil Fanatics. That's P-H-A-N, to be part of the conversation. And that's a special group that we've put together of Dr. Phil superfans, and it's like doubled in size in the last couple of weeks. So you guys are really banging in there, which I appreciate. My weekly podcast, Fill in the Blanks, has intriguing guests and relatable topics for everyone. Make sure to check out Robin's podcast, I've Got a Secret with Robin McGraw. Secrets to enhance your everyday life. She really comes up with some interesting topics. Nothing's off limits with her, as you might imagine. I'll see you next time. Thank you guys so much.
Happy the truth is out about James called me a racial slur. James, you did exactly what I hoped you would do. You got on there and you acted like your true self. So thank you, is all I have to say to him. I really do love my mom. I am going to, listen to Dr. Phil, sit tight, and hopefully, he can get her the help she needs, because I really do want a relationship with my mom.
I don't have to apologize to Kiera for nothing, because I didn't do anything. I wasn't a bad mother. And I do not need therapy. And he is not controlling me.
Bro, you're not gonna... not at the moment, because we need iron. We need diamond to make the armor.
Huh?
Just get back. Just get back.
No,
I know everything about Minecraft.
No, I do too.
No, you don't.
Okay,
Get back.
buddy.
Get back.
No, bro, I'm gonna find some. The fuck are you on?
You're gonna find like 2, bro, and then in like 2 hours.
That's fine. Oh shit!
Bro, I
Shit!
can find a whole ass stack in like
Shit!
30 minutes. Just come back.
Then find a whole ass stack in 30
It's
minutes.
worthless. It's worthless right now, bro.
What are you talking about? I'd rather live for this than go back into caves for diamonds, bruh. Enough of that shit.
Okay. Let's go mine diamonds then. But first I'm gonna make the, you know what? Sugar again. I'm gonna make book.
Boom, boom.
How do you make books? How do you make books?
Paper.
How do you make paper?
Sugar.
Oh, I made it. How do books? Oh, we need leather now. Okay.
Oh fuck.
My Minecraft knowledge
Not that way.
is obscure.
Obscure? I don't think that's good.
How do you say it then?
Phenomenal.
How the fuck do I make a book, bro?
Paper. 14, 15.
Bye, puppy. Bye. Bye, puppy. Yeah, I'm kind of getting hella pissed off. Oh, book. What? That's so weird. Wow, how would you make it like that? That's so trash. Okay. Oh shit, one problem.
Blackstone.
One problem. I used all the obsidian to make the nether portal. So I'll go back and get more. Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh shit! I forgot it goes faster.
Let's do it.
Bro, I'm never gonna find netherite.
Is your ass.
It's all luck, what do you mean?
It's not.
Then how is it not luck?
Because you can find it in a way.
And what's that way?
It's fast. My English doesn't
We'll say it in
know
your
how to explain
language.
it. Dus kijk, hè, hij moet op een niveau gaan van niveau 11, waarbij je... Want daar krijg je de meeste...
Oh, you gotta
ja,
find
ja,
the Christmas elf. Okay.
ja. Daar krijg je de meest geluk op. Oh, daar krijg je de meest kans.
Yeah, it's a
dan
misconception. Yeah. Yeah.
En dus ook, om dat snel te krijgen, kun je ook bedden gebruiken.
What the fuck?
Ja? Je kan ook bedden gebruiken, ja.
You know what?
In plaats van TNT te gebruiken voor explosief, je kan bedden gebruiken waarbij
Yo,
dat
stream,
sneller...
log off of his chat because you don't even understand him. So come in.
Brother, nobody
How
on.
to find netherite.
Oh.
Best and fastest way to find.
Best and fastest
ancient
way to find
debris.
netherite on the page 24 fucking... I'm coming back.